Hello, this is Victor and welcome to my new Pit of Exile video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my new Cyclone build and how it works and what are the defenses and offenses and whatnot. So let's start by going through the items and why I'm using those items and how they are benefiting my character. So our weapon is a jeweled foil with crit multi as it's implicit. We have flat elemental damage as the prefix. If it's higher than tier 3, it's better, but we also have the crafted lightning damage on it. Our build is dealing lightning damage, so that's why we have that. And in the suffixes, we have crit multi, attack speed, and crit chance. And as the enchant, we have the 0.1 meters to weapon range per 10% quality. Our weapon has 20% quality, so that's 0.2 meters to weapon range. You can get a 30 quality jeweled foil, that would be much better, but it's much difficult to get a 30 quality jeweled foil. Or you could get anarchic spirit blade, and that's gonna be much better for another reason, but I'll get to that later. Our ring is coiling whisper. What this does is it says when 90% of your hex's duration expires on an enemy, eat 1 soul per enemy power, and this soul is the same as the soul eater buff. So we usually have 45 stacks of Soul Eater on our character because we are using Asenath's Gentle Touch. So what Asenath's Gentle Touch does is it curses enemies with temporal chains, and the temporal chains curse remains on the corpses that we have killed. That means our curses can expire because they usually go away when the enemy is dead, but with Asenath's Gentle Touch, the curses remain on the corpses. So with Coiling Whisper, the curses can actually expire and we can get souls. That means we have 45 stacks of souls. That means we have 255% attack speed and cast speed. So that's a great buff for our character. And in our gloves implicit, we have attack speed and frenzy charges. I bought these gloves for like 1 or 2 divines, so it's very cheap right now. So you can get these as well. We are also stacking frenzy charges because we are Slayer, but I'll get to that later. Our helmet is pretty simple. It has so the prefixes are just life and crafted 0.2 meters to melee strike range, and the suffixes are just resist and intelligence. We need actually a lot of intelligence in this character, and you either need to get that from the ring or the helmet, and I suggest you get it from the helmet because crafting the ring is actually a pain in the ass. So don't bother trying to get it in the ring. And the helmet's base should be armor based, but armor evasion or armor energy shield is also fine, but it should be armor, I think. And in the implicits, we have reduced mana cost of attacks, and that should be tier 5, so that is exquisite. And we have increased attack damage, and that is grand, and it doesn't matter which tier it is. The higher, the better, of course. It's going to give you more damage if you get it on higher tiers, but it should be grand, I think. Our body armor is Diala's Malefaction. I don't know how to read it, but the point is to get the Cyclone on a green socket so that it has more quality. So this is gonna give 30 quality to our Cyclone, and we have bought this with 2 corruptions. The implicits are socketed EOE gems, which means Cyclone, and we have 50% reduced extra damage from critical strikes. Because with this and another mastery, we are 80% reduced damage taken from critical strikes, which is basically like not getting one shot from critical strikes, and that's all we need from these modifiers anyway. So this body armor is to just give Cyclone more quality, but for other gems, it gives a lot of support as well, and I'm going to go through the gems after I go through the items. Our belt is Mage Blood. We need 4 magic utility flasks on Mage Blood. If you get one with higher resistance and stats, that's better, but mine is not that good, but it's usable, so I'm using it. The amulet is Ashes of the Stars with Whispers of Doom as its anoint. This is gonna give us a lot of quality for our skill gems, which means Cyclone, and +1 level of all skill gems, which is not important. We just need this for quality, and if you get it for... so we don't need 30 quality on this item. 26 and up is enough, and if you get 25, then you need Cyclone with a corruption that is higher than 20. So if you get Cyclone level 21 and quality 23, you can get Ashes of the Stars on 23 quality. and getting 30 doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything as far as I know. And the ring is a synthesized ring with -3 to total mana cost of skills. And I also have recovered 2% of life on kill because it's going to be a real defensive layer for this character because we kill everything all the time. So that's good, but you don't need that. You just need -3 to total mana cost of skills. And in the affixes, so the prefixes goes either increase elemental damage with attack skills or flat lightning damage to attacks and tier like the best tier life that you can get. We need to craft channeling skills have -3 to total mana cost because Cyclone is a channeling skill. And in the suffixes, we just use the crit multi deafening essence to craft this item. So we have 24% to global crit multi, and whatever you can get is bonus. So I got rarity of items and accuracy. It's better if you can get stats or things like resistances. That's gonna be better, but accuracy and rarity of items is actually not that bad. So whatever you can get on the string, it's gonna be better. Is this ring good? It is decent. I'm out of money, so I don't have a lot of money to craft right now, so this is what I settled with. But I'll probably try to get a much better ring than this. Our boots is triple influence, double elevated fugitive boots. So what we have here is gain elusive on critical strike. We have movement speed, and the second line, like the chance to gain onslaught for 4 seconds on kill, is not necessary. You can get another tier of movement speed on this, but mine just happened to have this. So because we already have gained onslaught on kill already on the boot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But on the suffixes we have effect of tailwind. You have tailwind if you have dealt a critical strike, and chance to gain onslaught and attack, cast, and movement speed while you have onslaught. And the third suffix, it doesn't really matter. What you can get here is gonna be beneficial. I got energy shield recharge rate. It doesn't really do anything for my character, but it doesn't really matter because the rolls on my effect of tailwind and attack, cast, and movement speed while you have onslaught are almost perfect. So that's what I wanted from my boots. So this is the boots that we are gonna use. And the shield is swollen. Try to get chance to block spell damage at 15 because I've designed the character to function when this number is at 15. So you need a perfect roll chance to block spell damage at least. You don't need ward from this, but perfect chance to spell block damage swollen for this build to work. And our flasks are, for now, this is Bottle Fate. Bottle Fate gives me Consecrated Ground and also a lot of crit chance and monster damage taken. And the better flask here is Progenesis, of course. The best flask here is Progenesis, but right now I have Bottle Fate, so Bottle Fate is what I'm going to use. And you need to counteract with like manage the crit chance with this, because with Bottle Fate you have a lot of crit chance, so you don't need to get crit chance from the flask suffix. You can get something else, so that's all the management between the characters, like what you're gonna do. But all the other flasks, I have a gold flask right now because I didn't really think that I would need another flask here, so I'm using rarity of items. I have a diamond flask, which has avoid being stunned during effect. This is basically giving me stun evasion, like 100%. It is not 100%, but it is very close to 100%. It might even be 100%. I don't really know. So the Quicksilver has 60% reduced effect of curses and also increased effect. And the Bismuth flask has 14% increased movement speed. It doesn't matter on which flask you get these suffixes, but what matters is that you get these suffixes on all the flasks that you have. And because we are using magic flasks, it works with Mage Blood. So this is the item setup. And let me talk a little about the tree. So we have here a Little Pride, and this Little Pride gives triple double damage and also +1 fortification and also a little melee damage. A little strength here, but it's not really important. But what we want here is the double damage nodes. And let's see, we have a large cluster here, which is Martial Prowess, Prodigious Defense, and Strike Leader. Because Prodigious Defense gives us the block chance that we need. Martial Prowess gives us the damage and the attack speed and the accuracy. And Strike Leader gives us the +0.2 meters to melee strike range while holding a shield. and also some block chance, and also damage while holding a shield. And our other large cluster is Blood Scent, Feed the Fury, and Martial Prowess. And Blood Scent gives us the gain 2 rage on hit with axes and swords, and we are using a sword, so we are getting rage from Blood Scent. Feed the Fury gives us leech and damage while leeching and attack speed while leeching. And Martial Prowess gives us, again, attack damage, speed, accuracy, whatever. And all the medium clusters are the same: Precise Focus and Stoic Focus. So this gives crit chance while channeling and crit multi while channeling for at least 1 second, and we should be always channeling. And the Stoic Focus gives plus 5% chance to block attack damage, and also spell damage, and also channeling skills deals increased damage. So 4 of these, we have a lot of block chance. And for the normal jewels, we have life, crit multi, area damage. This is our Water's Eye. This is attack damage while affected by precision, and chaos res while affected by purity of elements, because we are not chaos res kept. And in here we have a Murderous Eye Jewel. So this is flat life, lightning damage to attacks, lightning damage to sword attacks, and damage if you have killed recently, which is almost always active. And here we have life, crit multi, melee damage, lightning damage. All these are beneficial. And here I have life, crit multi, attack speed with swords, and chaos res. Again, all of them very beneficial. So our masteries, in here we have plus 3 meters to melee strike range. Here we have life gain when you block, mana gain when you block. So we always gain life when we are blocking. Here damage per endurance, frenzy, and power charge. And we have 8 frenzy charges, 8 endurance charges, and 4 power charges. I also have a tattoo here, movement speed. I'm gonna tattoo all my dexterity node with movement speed unless it drops me below 100% chance to hit. And 1 tattoo here on the strength node, melee hits which stun have 5% chance to fortify, which like ensures I have 21 fortification whenever I hit something, basically. So this is just giving me 21% fortification, even if it's a boss. So it doesn't really matter because our damage is so high. And I'm planning to have all these nodes to Fatal Blade, but I'm not leveled that high yet. 15% maximum life if there's no life modifier on body armor, and we have Diala, and this has no life mod. We have here reduced damage from critical strikes. With body armor, it's going to be 80%, which is really good. This is just reservation. This is 5% instant leech, which is great, and that's about it. So this is the passive tree. So our mercenary, the weapons doesn't matter, but the body armor does matter. So this is Doriani's prototype. This is gonna give the enemies the lightning resist of what my mercenary has, and our rings have minus 120% lightning res on this one, and on this one I have 129 negative lightning resist. So my mercenary has, wow, this is the first. Okay, let's enter a map and show you then. I don't know what's happened there. What the hell? Okay, so my Merc has minus 236% lightning res, but it's gonna go up a little because I have precision, so it's 190% lightning res. But he also has scorched on the boots, so when the enemy is scorched, they actually have minus 200 lightning resists. I also have a Perculous Toe, so this gives nearby allies damage with hits is lucky, so our hits with damage is lucky, and lightning damage is really good with the term lucky because lightning damage has a lot of minimum and maximum damage. And the helmet is blood price. This reserves 8% of the life the monsters have, and the belt is immortal flesh because minus 19 to all elemental resistances. This also gives a lot of regen for the mercenary. The weapons doesn't really matter. I have blind here and cull on here, but culling doesn't really matter because we are slayer and we have slayer cull. And the gloves actually has enfeebled on hit. We don't really need this. We can just take this out. We can use another gloves, but I really haven't found anything good. But so it's just there. So what you really need are the rings, the amulet, the Dorianis, and also the boots and the belt, of course, for the negative resistances. So let's talk about gems actually. So in the weapon we have life tap, shield charge, and faster attacks. This allows us to move around in the map when we are not channeling, when we are looting basically. The helmet has life tap, cast ban damage taken, and immortal call. Level this as high as you can. I can actually lower my cast ban damage taken gem a little to trigger it sooner. We are using immortal call because we have 8 endurance charges and we are gaining a lot of endurance charges, because in our actual gem setup we have awakened, we have endurance charge on melee stun, so we are gaining a lot of endurance charges. Also our mercenary has enduring cry, that's also giving us endurance charges, so we can use immortal call. And since we are block capped, we are rarely getting attacked, and when we get attacked this triggers and we are taking a lot less damage than we would have. So immortal call is actually really great for this character. And in here we have blood rage. In the shield we have summon flame golem. When we so this swelling says trigger a socket elemental spell on block with a 0.25 second cooldown, and this is a spell and also has the tag fire, so this is basically an elemental spell. So we are summoning a flame golem and this is giving us damage and area of effect. And we have frost bomb. This is basically to trigger reduced life regeneration rate for the enemies, just in case if we face an enemy that has a lot of regeneration. And we have life tap. And in the body armor, in our main gems, we have Cyclone on a green socket, so this gives quality. So our Cyclone's quality is a lot higher than it would have. And we have awakened elemental damage attacks, and it's on a red gem, so it's getting levels. And we have awakened added lightning damage support, it's also on red, so this gains a lot of levels. So this is basically the main place that we are getting a lot of flat damage. And we have endurance charge on melee stun, this gives us endurance charges, and this gives us damage over endurance charges, and this is on a green socket. Infused channeling support, this is giving us damage and also less damage taken from hits, and this is on green again. And we have volatility, and this is on a green socket. So volatility is actually a great support because the lightning damage minimum and maximum is so high, like so different, and volatility makes it more extreme. And when you make it lucky, you get a lot of increased damage because you roll it twice, and it makes your damage hits a lot higher than it would have. So that's our gem setup in the body armor. And in gloves we have enhance, we have a mark on hit. This is 20 to 11, this should be 21 to 20. I'm working on it. We have life tap and we have assassin's mark. This is our basically the mark setup, and we have the curse from the SNS gentle touch. That's why we have whispers of doom on the amulet anoint. And in the boots we have precision. We have tempest shield because we need spell block. We have purity of elements because we need resistances and immune to all elemental ailments from the boots. And we have blood and sand because it gives us a lot of area of effect. So that's the gem setup that we have. So let me go to the hideout again and let's show you what we have on the configuration. So we have power charges, frenzy charges, endurance charges, we have life step, we have onslaught, we are fortified, we have tailwind, we have elusive, we have 50 rage. It doesn't matter if you had another 0 here, so it doesn't matter. We are leeching, we have a flask active, we are on consecrated ground because we are using bottled fate. Nearby enemies, I just said 1, but you can just type 10 and it increases the AoE radius of our skill. We have crit recently, we are channeling, we have been channeling for 1 second, we have killed, whatever. You can just type here your damage with hits is lucky and 255 increased attack speed because our souls from the glows and the ring gives us the souls that we need for 255% increased attack speed, and your damage with hits is lucky is coming from Perculous Toe from our mercenary. We can also just type enemy lightning resistance to minus 200 because that's what the enemies are gonna have. We can just delete this. So melee distance to enemies 10 because we have a lot of range. Enemy is cursed, enemy is blinded. You can just take this off if you want, but enemy is blinded because of our mercenary. But if you want to be 100% sure, you can just take this off and take a look at the character like that. So that lowers our hit chance to 97% actually. So we can just take this off and take a look at the character, but you can also leave it on. Is the enemy shocked? Effect of shock, you can actually lower this to like 10% because Cyclone hits a lot of times and your maximum hit is actually not that high. So it doesn't really matter though, because I'm going to show you the actual config that I'm using on my character right now. So this is basically the build. So with this setup, we have 72 million DPS and we have 5.3 meters of range. And actually, let me show you the actual character that I have right now that is not leveled to that high. So this is a level 96 character and this is the actual gear that I have on. and this is the config that I'm using. So we have 40 million DPS on this character right now, and we have 5.5 meters of EOE, and that's actually really high. And our effective hit pool is 216,000, and that is without the Immortal Call. When I activate Immortal Call, it goes up to 480,000 effective hit pool, so that's a lot. Our mana cost is 0 on Cyclone. That's how I designed the build. So you don't really care. You don't care about like non-leech maps, non-regen maps, whatever, non-recovery maps. You don't care about that. Life. What's good is this node. No, not this. This node gain 4 life per enemy hit with attacks, which basically ensures that you always have life and also mana. But we don't really use mana, so it doesn't really matter. But this ensures that you can do no regen maps, no recovery maps, no leech maps. It doesn't matter. We can do all the maps. We only can't do 2 mods. Less block chance and physical reflect. And for weapon, instead of jeweled foil, if you get something like an anarchic spirit blade, which converts your physical damage to another element, you can do physical reflect mats that way. But the reduced block mod we can't do. That's the only mod that breaks us. And aside from that, like drowning orbs, we are constantly moving. We are not in danger. When you use a flask, a meteor falls on you. It doesn't matter. We are moving. The meteor falls behind us. The tentacles, annoying but manageable. We are just moving around. You can just move past and then wait for them to explode. Then you can continue clearing the map. The high health mods, it doesn't matter. We have high damage. The crit mods, it doesn't matter. We have 80% crit resistance. All the mods that tier 16.5s or tier 17s that offer us, we can do all of them except physical reflect and reduce block. And except from those two, we can do all the mods in the maps. And also, if you are doing blue altars in the map device, we can do all the blue altar mods, including the resist one. I've taken it in a lot of maps, and I haven't died once. I'm keep leveling it. I'm level 96 and I just keep leveling my character. It doesn't matter. I never die. So this is a really good character if you don't like rolling maps, because when I have a lot of maps. I'm actually running map strategy, and I have 3 different rules here, like map very strict, map strict, and map. So this map here actually tells me which mods that I don't want to do, basically. Like area of effect, for example, if the player has less area of effect, then yeah, I don't want to do that map, but I can do that map because area is what we like. Can I do it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. So I'm not gonna do them because I have a lot of maps. But if you are doing tier 17s or maybe corrupted tier 16.5s, and you want to do the map anyway, and the map has less area of players, then of course you can do those maps, and that's it. We can do everything. What this build is good at is running maps and just killing monsters. If you want to do boss rushing, like if you want to just kill Ubers, this build can kill Ubers, but it is not designed to do so. It is designed to just blast through maps, and you can just hold E, and that's it. You don't have to do anything. You can just hold E. That's it. This is what this build is capable of. This is what I made this for. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please tell me what your questions are, and I'll answer them as much as possible. Please note that this build is expensive, and I'm not done. Like, I need the flask. That's 90 divines. Mage blood is a lot of expensive. Actually, let me talk about the prices. Like, the weapon is cheap. The helmet is pretty cheap. The shield is it was 90 something divines, but right now it's 88 divines, so it's manageable maybe. So yeah, the shield is 90 divines. The boots were 64 divines. The amulet was like 2 divines or something. The ring cost me like 10 to 15. The body armor was 18. The ring is like 5 chaos or something. The gloves was like 1 or 2 divines. Mage blood right now is 200 divines. And the jewels are like 2 divines each. Watch Die was 10 divines. The Lethal Pride was like 2 or 3 divines. And this large cluster was 11 divines. So basically our budget is like 400 to 500 divines, and also there are a lot of gems that we can buy, like this, like a couple of divines, I think. But the build is between like 400 to 500 divines, I would say. So this is the build. I hope you like it. Also, if you want this video to be in Turkish as well, you can tell me in the comments that to make this video in Turkish as well, because it is in English. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you like about this build. And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.